Geico presents sharing versus oversharing. Today, Bridget Griffin shared a video of her daily yoga routine, 2 self-help articles, and her new blog called Build Your Inner Bridge with Bridge. Girl, your sharing has turned into oversharing. No worries, Bridge. Geico has some info worth sharing with your 7 blog followers, like how you could save money on your car insurance, update your policy, and report a claim just by visiting geico.com. How's that for building your inner bridge? Bridge, Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It's time to start the revolution. You the people have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You the people have the power to make this life pretty and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world.
If you the responsibility of a country is not in the hands of a privileged few. We are strong and we are free from tyranny as long as each one of us remembers his or her duty as a citizen.
Good morning, good day, good evening. Thank you for listening to the CHADMAN and RANDY show. I'm going to ask you guys a quick question. How many of you guys have seen the trailer for that movie, The Young Messiah? I know Randy hasn't seen it, because I was just telling him about it. He hadn't heard of it. Not Risen, but there's a movie coming out, I think around Easter time, called Young Messiah. It takes place, apparently, when Jesus was a kid, and the whole 2 hours movie is about him being a kid and what he went through as a kid. But here's the thing. There's no historical accuracy that Jesus even existed. So, and even in the Bible, which was written at the Council of Nicaea 200 years after this guy's death, or assumption, however you want to look at it, doesn't even say anything about his childhood. So it's stupid. It's retarded. And I think when this movie comes out, people are going to start believing that this is true. And I call bullshit. And I'm pretty sure that will offend everybody who's not even a minute into this podcast.
Well, I mean, the fact is, though, is depending on how it goes, that could either be deemed as really, really offensive, because if they have this, depending on what the filmmaker's take is on this.
I know. I don't understand I don't understand where it even came from. But people are going to leave this movie, though, believing it's true. Right,
but I mean, what if the guy really wants to piss people off and he's got young Jesus hitting puberty, touching himself or some shit? People are going to fucking flip his shit.
Or his, Middle Eastern uncle wanted to have man-boy love with him, because that's what goes on in the Middle East.
And, I mean, we're not trying to be shocking here, but, I mean, it just depends the way that they're going to go with the narrative in this movie. I mean, it could go a bunch of different ways, and I mean, you're giving, because this guy is writing text of something that, there's no written history of, so you're getting whatever you want out of it.
I don't know. My goal was to open up the show and try to offend somebody, which I'm pretty sure I've offended at least 1 or 2 people because of some of the things we've said about Jesus. I'm pretty sure the comment I said about the Bible, pretty sure about the comment I said about him not even proving that he existed. Somebody's offended, and we're not even 2 minutes into this podcast. 2015 was a year that seemed like everybody got offended about something. We trolled that shit. Randy especially, right? I mean, everybody gets offended by the most stupid shit. What do you got?
Well, we can go with fat chicks and Sports Illustrated. We can go with... Okay, we'll go with that. This chick is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, especially facially, she is beautiful.
I wouldn't... Okay, when you told me about this, and I had heard about it online, I was thinking it was going to be... Who's that actress that's in all the movies right now?
The blonde Rebel Wilson, that Australian...
Annoying as shit. Okay? Ugh. That's what I was thinking they were putting in Sports Illustrated. When you showed me the actual magazine, dude, she doesn't look thick or big.
You don't know photoshopping and whatever is taken involved. Plus, I mean, the fact is, do you want to, like, they made a big deal out of it, like, oh, the first plus size, the token, like, you're being thrown in, they're making a big deal out of it. They could have thrown her in without all the publicity around it, too, and just said, yep, this is what women today look like. Not even said anything about it until asked.
I know. Why do we even do that? It's a big deal. Are fat women really complaining about Sports Illustrated? First of all, who the fuck even reads Sports Illustrated anymore?
I got this stupid subscription because my kid was doing some fundraiser or something.
But still, like, I don't know anybody that even reads magazines anymore.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is, though, is when you when you get your Sports Illustrated, other than picture-wise and stuff like that from sporting events, you've already read everything, like the football games and stuff, like the football coverage this year. I'd look at it and go, yeah, I read all this shit online 6 days ago.
Right. I think magazines in general are just a dying
Oh,
art
that's a
form.
dinosaur. I mean, now I could
done.
see if you got an online subscription, to these magazines, because there are sites that are doing that now, where you would get, the articles automatically. But yeah, by the time this thing comes to print and gets out there, I mean, shit,
Seems
it's
like
6
money
days
wasted.
old.
And who
Not to mention they preview everything anyway. Half of these pictures that were in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue are, like, they've already been out.
So aside from teenage boys cutting the pictures out and putting them up in their room, who the
But
fuck?
you have full-on porn now. This isn't us in 1989 where this was as good as it got, other than the fucking Playboy that some asshole had stuffed in a box somewhere.
Dude, when I was a kid, I had a buddy whose dad had the largest porn subscription, man. And they were everywhere. Dude, he had magazines stuffed in every fucking cabinet, in the laundry room. And his mom just, I guess, pretended it fucking didn't exist. It was really weird, man. But you're right. Here we are in 2016. Teenage boys, they don't go fucking read magazines. I don't think teenage boys are going to school with fucking Sports Illustrated magazines in their backpacks.
But this is one of these things that we're told is a big deal as a society, and we're supposed to believe is a big deal. Now, it's coming out in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. Nobody gives a shit anymore, really. I mean, it's still got the name to it. We're believed it. But I would really like to see if you could get an honest of the numbers, if it really does bump that much. Because I don't really think it... I think it's just one of those name things, and if they dropped it, it would be as big of a story than, it coming out.
So why is this a big deal? Why are, I guess, thick women... Were they offended that thick women weren't portrayed in Sports Illustrated magazines, or in like, I'm guessing it's probably a larger thing. It was like in public, like movies and shit. Is that what it is? Like, what, is Mystique going to be fat in the next X-Men movie? I mean, like, is that what they're going for?
I mean, I kind of understand, because to me, these models, most of these swimsuit models, it's ridiculous. I mean, these bitches haven't eaten in 3 months, and half of them are ugly as shit anyway, to tell you the truth.
Dude. Models, they're pretty. And my wife had a friend who was a model, and, yeah, she's pretty. But here's why I couldn't, if I were to ever get rich or come up on a large amount of money and I was single, I wouldn't go for a model, because here's the thing, I'm 5'5", dude. Okay, models are what? Typically 7 feet tall. They got big-ass feet. I'm not interested in a Mongoloid beautiful woman, some Amazonian beautiful woman like that. Models are cool, and they look good in paper, like on magazines and in pictures, but when you notice them in public, dude, honestly, realistically, they're like 6 foot tall, right? Majority of them?
Yeah, I mean, around there.
And they got big feet, and they're just, I'm sorry, I'm not attracted to that. They might look cool on a poster, but in person, I'm fine.
You can either date a model or an adolescent basketball player. They're built about the same.
No, God, no.
Adolescent male basketball player or a model, big feet, over 6 foot tall, no tits. There you go. Have fun.
That's not attractive to me, man. I'm not into that. Nope. My wife used to cheer for college, and she'd make me go sit through these women's basketball games. I fucking hate basketball, period. Women's basketball, I think, I'd rather watch shuffleboard or old men play chess than watch women basketball. And that's not a sexist remark, so if you're offended, I don't care. The whole time I couldn't help but think, dude, these chicks, if they didn't
Just wait until trannies get into women's basketball. It's going to rule. We've already gone down this road.
Like, it was just, I mean, some of these chicks, man, were just unbelievably, I mean, the genetics behind these women are ridiculous, man. I'm not into the Sports Illustrated thing. I'm not into...
Well, here's the 3 covers, okay? You got blonde bimbo, I don't know who she is, and then the big chick, and Ronda Rousey.
In that picture, and if you're looking at it online, if you're listening to this and you're trying to find it, go to Sports Illustrated, look at the picture. She's got like a blue bikini with what? It's got like yellow stripes on it, or yellow straps. That's the one. Now, you look at her ass and her hips, okay.
Well, you notice there's some creative angles here,
Right,
and there's
yeah,
some
okay.
photoshopping.
I got it.
But she's pretty.
She's pretty. Oh, dude, if you were at a bar, drunk dude at a bar. And
Oh, she's a fucking...
But here's the thing. She looks different than the other two, but she doesn't look bad.
No, to tell you the truth, she looks healthier, and I mean...
So what is the big deal? I mean, obviously they're not complaining that she's in it. I don't know.
But this is also, though, they're also lowering the standards to let everybody play.
Oh, but
Because, put it this way, these other chicks, they've had to diet, they've had to do whatever to get their body or whatever. This chick has obviously not dieted as much.
just eating fucking ding-dongs and ho-hos.
Whatever, and whatever she's done, or if it's genetics, whatever, okay. And you know what? Genetics sucks. You know why genetics sucks? I'll never be able to play in the fucking NBA. One, I'm white, so I can't jump. And two, I'm fucking 6'2". I'm not, I don't have the ball handling skills or the speed to be a point guard, which at best, I'd be a small point guard still in the NBA. I'd have more of the skill set to be play a forward or a center, but I'm not 6'9".
I feel what you're saying on that, and yeah, I mean,
So you don't get to play.
Some people are meant to do things that others aren't. I'm totally with that. Now, with this chick, was she modeling before? Was she like a plus?
Yeah, she's like the Lane Bryant model or something. I think.
Do you want to hear a funny?
No, I'm serious.
I mean, funny. When I first started dating my wife, took her shopping. I came back from my first deployment. And, I'm deployment rich, so I had a lot of money sitting in my account for my deployment. And I took her to the mall, and I said, hey, let's go shopping wherever you want. And we walked by this store, and I said, hey, well, how about this store? Let's go in there and see what's in there for you. It was a Lane Bryant. And now, dude, you know my wife, man. Like, there's nothing in there that she could really fit into. And that was funny, man. That's where I learned about Lane Bryant. Okay, now that picture, she looks thick.
She's pushing it a little bit there.
Her titties are bigger than the rest of the girls, and her
arms, thighs. I mean, she's.
But dude, even then, like,
but she's still. I mean, she's still hot. But I mean, it's just the point that you don't get to play. Not this. Like, this is like me wanting to play in the NBA. Now I can go play in rec league basketball. I can go and I can go. You got to get into your lane, dude. You don't get to play in the NBA. Yeah. I'm sorry. There's certain things that you don't qualify for, and I'm also tired. And now you really want to start pissing people off. I'm tired of, oh, look at this online, and this will make your heart flutter, where they let the special needs kids score a basket or score a touchdown.
Oh, man.
Bullshit. Somebody ought to jack him right when they hand him off the ball, and they're like, oh, we're going to let him score. And then some linebacker ought to just fly in and just ass over feet.
If you want to see something hysterical,
you talk about the blind kid?
The blind football player kid? They let this blind kid play football. First of all, in the news clip, they interview him, and he's like, I just want to play football, and it's cool, okay.
I just want to fucking fly. I'm not a bird, all right?
They give this kid, they put him on defense. That's hysterical. They put him on fucking defense, which I guess would be the safest route, because you don't want to give a blind kid a ball and just let
I'd chop block the shit out of that motherfucker.
The video... The funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. And if you say you didn't watch that and laugh, you're fucking lying. I'll laugh for you because that shit's hysterical. And you know what? The kid had fun regardless, and the family liked it, so what's the harm? What's the foul? Who's offended? The family's not, right? I mean, the kid got to play. Everyone got to, see him in pads. He got to do something cool. Come on.
I feel bad for but I mean, this is the point. Like, with this chick in Sports Illustrated, people have dieted, people have trained to be in these sports, they have done all this stuff, and I'm sorry, we all don't get to play. This leads back into other things that we've discussed, is why probably office shootings happen, is because nobody in your life has ever told you, you can't. You just can't. You suck at something until you're at your job and your boss comes into you and goes, your job performance sucks, and you're fired. And then that's when some asshole loads up his fucking his AR-15 and starts unloading on the office.
Yeah, because no one can take anything anymore, man. Everyone's just become so fucking weak. Man.
Well, look now with social media, like with Twitter and everything like that, is you can. Before, celebrities were pretty much untouchable. You couldn't, even if you did write something offensive, you could send in a fan letter, and it would probably be screened by their assistants or whatever, or to the house, to the depot that they all get sent to, because they accept fan mail for 50,000 different celebrities at this one place, and if it was offensive, they'd chuck it away. But now with Twitter and shit, I mean, you can light up a celebrity and get response.
Yeah, have you ever had a celebrity respond to something you said, or somebody of like mediocre fame get back to you?
You know what? One night when I was drunk as shit and me and Preston were doing a radio show, Jose Canseco was up probably drunk as shit and texting and was
like
tweeting.
Yeah.
And I told him that I was doing this radio show with my friend. We exchanged phone numbers, and that son of a bitch called me about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and we had like a half-hour to 45-minute long drunken conversation,
Get
dude.
the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Jose
dude.
Canseco?
Yeah, because, I mean, I was always a fan, and I never gave him, like, when Moneyball came out, everybody said that this guy is full of shit when it originally came out. And then, as it kept going, he said, this guy's doing steroids, this guy's doing... Everything that he said ended up being true. Now, the second book, that's not Moneyball, it was Juiced, I think. But now, the second book, there was some... But I'm telling you, that dude is one of those guys. You have these people around you in your circle that you think are full of shit, and then everything you see comes up true, so eventually you have to go, this dude ain't full of shit.
That's interesting, man. Dude, I had Giorgio Tsoukios. You know who that is? Okay, the Ancient Aliens guy with the hair.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I hit him up on Facebook and Twitter, and he responded. When I was in Alaska, talking to that guy all the time, I would just hit him up and be like, hey, what do you think about this? Or leave him comments, and he'd respond and message me back. And then recently, and he's coming on the show, is Johnny Brennan from the Jerky Boys.
Right.
So all you guys who know the Jerky Boys, or the voice for the pharmacist off Family Guy, Saul Rosenberg, Frank Rizzo, yeah, that guy talks to me all the time. I've never had, like, a big celebrity. I mean, I don't really reach out to him. I said some shit to Trump recently, just out of fun, but there's no way you're going to get through to him.
He'd just be like, it's great, we're bigger, we're going to be stronger.
Fucking tool. So, anyways, man, the one thing that we were talking about, too, as far as offensiveness, was Joe Rogan saying something. First of all, who gets Dada 5000?
Okay, you got Netflix.
I do got Netflix, but I don't... Only time I watch it is, like, I watch Daredevil, Jessica Jones, shit
Okay.
like that. Documentaries. I don't fucking...
Okay, that's a documentary.
Okay.
Dada 5000, you got to watch this documentary called Dogfight.
Okay.
And-
Wait, okay, so is he like a street fighter? Like
He
a back-
was, and then he basically became a promoter.
Okay.
This whole thing is like, they put on, and I think it was like around MLK Day, they put on these fights, and they basically they have chain link fence around their house, and they take that blue tarp, wrap it around there, and they have these fights in his backyard. And they charge people like $20 or $30 a piece to come. I haven't seen this
And
movie.
there's neighborhood or citywide homies.
They promote them. They do all the shit, and they put on these fights. I mean, they'll have food. His mom's out there like cooking chicken and shit.
So he's not like, because the original one, because he just fought Kimbo Slice and got his ass kicked.
Now, if you want to talk about offensive, watch that fucking fight.
No, that's what I'm getting to.
No, I'm not talking about what was said about that fight. That fight in itself was fucking offensive, as a display of fighting.
Kimbo Slice is the original backyard brawler. I was watching Kimbo Slice videos years ago.
Oh yeah, this
and he
is
was out there fucking
2005.
dudes up. And then he went into UFC, didn't do well. Or was it
Yeah,
UFC?
well he went. I think he went to Strikeforce for a minute, maybe won.
Didn't do well, right?
No, I think he won maybe in Strikeforce, and then Dana cut him something. I can't remember how it went.
But anyways, they're fighting for Bellator, which Bellator... Dude, my buddy just took me to a Bellator fight in Fresno. It was stupid, man. It was fun to go, and I had a good time, and I'm very grateful I went there. You know, good time hanging out. But Bellator's weak.
But yeah, but it's like
Nothing
going
compared to UFC.
right. It's like going to watch your little local indie wrestling circuit, or going to a WWE show.
No, exact kind of what.
Not saying that the outcome's determined or whatever, but I'm just saying in production and in the way things are done.
Yeah, the lights as they walk out and everything. It was just really cheesy. So this Dada 5000 guy fought Kimbo Slice. Now this Dada 5000 dude is like what, 250?
Oh, shit.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'll talk about it.
I mean, I think he had to make a weight of like 260, but
Okay, so he's a big dude.
but he had
Kimbo
to drop
Slice-
he had to drop 40 pounds to get that, which he probably had to drop 80, and which then after he reinflated after to make the weight, he was probably at about 3 bills back by that time anyway.
And I know everybody. What day was it? It was last Sunday.
Last Saturday or Friday.
It was last Friday or Saturday. Last weekend. Everybody had to have seen that video on Facebook. It was everywhere. It was like every fucking 5 or 6 posts you saw it. It was Kimbo Slice knocking this dude out, who was clearly exhausted. This big ass black guy didn't even hit him. The last punch didn't even connect. But the guy fucking like everybody was like, "Oh, that's fake. That's staged."
What you were kind of wondering, like the dude, and I know he was so tired. He was so tired that his heart stopped in the ambulance.
So this went on for 3 rounds. So they were just fucking exhausted.
But I mean, but it looked like he was dropping his hands, going, motherfucker, please connect with me so I can fall. I don't want to look like a fucking total jackass, but I can't do this anymore.
Because that was the most pathetic.
But, like, please, just give something a little bit convincing so I can fall.
Everybody that saw that who's a fight fan said that was the most pathetic fucking... I mean, that was the most fucked up MMA fight ever. It was disgraceful. Joe Rogan comes out. Okay, and for those of you who don't know, I hate the fact that I even have to explain this. Joe Rogan's a commentator for UFC, comedian. You know, he's a Fear Factor guy.
Podcast pioneer.
I mean, he's literally paved the way for what we're doing right now. But Joe Rogan comes out and says that Dada 5000 had cheeseburgers and orange soda in his system.
And chicken. Fried chicken.
And fried chicken. And that's why... And I think I read his comment. It wasn't racist. He was just... being obvious. This guy looks like he eats fucking fried chicken and cheeseburgers.
For one, in that dogfight thing, they are making chicken. In that dogfight documentary, which I was going to get to, watch it, dude. It's great.
Okay, so Joe Rogan's going off shit that actually.
I mean, they are making food. They're making chicken. They're making all this. Okay, now if you jump on, he did say cheeseburgers. Okay, now is that considered racist? And you're considering the fried chicken and orange soda racist. He didn't say it racially. Now you're adding yourself into that. So does that make you the racist?
No.
No, but I'm saying if you add that into in context, the people who are thinking that it's racist...
But people who are thinking it's racist are looking for racist comments.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So that makes them the racist.
Right, exactly, because they
because fucking fried chicken is good, all right? Go fuck yourself. If you don't like fried chicken, we're not of the same species.
And black people eat fried chicken. It's like, you know what I don't understand when people make comments like that, and then other black people or race baiters get upset is because it's like, what? Are you trying to say black people don't eat fried chicken? That's stupid, man. And so that's something people get offended at, is that somebody like Joe Rogan, who's had, I mean, just go listen to any given 5 of his podcasts. He's not racist.
No, and that was an attempt at humor, you know? I mean, an attempt at humor. And even if it was, even if you do deem that a racist comment, he didn't mean it as a degrading comment. There is racial humor. And if you don't think racial humor is funny, then we've got nothing to discuss. And I don't care if it's a joke about white people, because I am. If it's Mexican people, because my co-host is half. My wife is all, and that makes my kids half. If it's a joke about black people, Asians, I don't give a shit. Shit is funny. Things can be funny. My dad died of cancer. Cancer jokes are fucking funny, okay?
I find humor in everything, man. People call it that dark humor.
Gallows humor. That's what it is.
But who are these people that are saying... oh, that's offensive, or you can't say that. It's the same people who are advocating that you can't say fuck on TV, which John Travolta, you were telling me about. We watched the OJ show on FX. You really need to watch it. Number one, if you don't know too much about the OJ trial because you're like in your mid-20s and you really don't remember it, go watch it and see what the fuck went down.
Number what's funny about that, really quick, what's funny about that is I was talking to a guy who's about 25, 27-ish, and he knew the OJ angle, and he knew that OJ killed his wife. He had no idea that Ron Goldman was there at all.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a scene in the last episode, where Ron Goldman's dad comes out and says
the
that.
most hateable man in the world. I can't stand that fucking guy.
Yeah,
and I would feel his pain totally if it was my kid, and I would feel slighted as well. And I would want to give OJ hell just as he does, but God damn it, I think it's that mustache, dude.
It's that mustache.
And those eyes. He's got beady eyes, dude, and I can't stand
What the fuck is with mustaches, man? Like, I never understood. Some guys' mustaches... What's the dude, the cowboy guy off of...
well, Tom Selleck can pull that shit off.
Tom Selleck can pull it off. But what's the guy, man... He's in The Big Lebowski, the cowboy dude.
Oh.
Sam, is it Sam,
Bo, fucking, is it Daniel?
The Coors guy. Coors.
Oh.
Coors.
Shit, Roadhouse and...
Roadhouse and shit. And he's the
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott. That guy can get away with it. My fucking mustaches are retarded, dude. I grew one when I was like 22, and I look at pictures, and I look like a fucking rat bastard. Anyways, we're going off track. In the OJ miniseries, John Travolta plays the attorney, Robert Shapiro.
Yeah, I named him.
I drew a blank. Robert Shapiro. And there's a scene, and for FX being a cable channel, where he says, fuck! And then it breaks the commercial. Now, that offended people. Why? Why do people pretend that we don't fucking cuss? Why do people pretend that... Oh, perfect example. When I was hosting Overwatch, the veteran podcast, we would cuss, and they'd pull us aside afterwards, the nonprofit that was in charge of the show, and said, hey, guys, you really need to limit it. First of all, I think combat vets cuss more than anybody. People cuss. You cuss. The guy down the street cuss. Everybody cusses, but we're supposed to turn our TVs on and pretend that it doesn't happen. Now, I watched Bill Maher on HBO. I love that show just because of the dialogue. It's actually, and the guy's funny. He had a good skit last night showing that, because I guess Donald Trump's been cussing at rallies and stuff. So fucking what? I like that.
When Donald Trump called that, had that, and then he said "pussy," dude, I laughed.
Oh, he's been saying a lot more than that. You need to watch C-SPAN because I want to go to a Donald Trump rally so bad. Not because I'm not in favor of him. I'm not in favor of anybody, but he's up there. He's up there saying bullshit, motherfucker. He's up there saying it, and people are digging it.
Did you see the clips from the debate the other night when the ex-Mexican president said, "We're not paying for that fucking wall," and then Trump says, "Yeah, guess what, asshole? We're building it 10 feet higher now." Dude, I laughed so fucking hard.
But that is exactly what I'm trying to say. So Donald Trump comes out the next day or later on that day and says, I've never used that word. I think, I wouldn't have used that word. That's just offensive.
That awful, vile word.
Who are you fucking pretending? And then Bill Maher went and literally played, man, like 10 different scenes in the past 2 months where Donald Trump said motherfucker, bullshit.
Well, can you imagine what the outtakes of the Apprentice are?
Oh, I can imagine. Or
some PA assistant trips over and kicks a light. I've heard interviews of people who are on Penn Jillette, actually, when he was on, which he basically got fired and would have won the Celebrity Apprentice, but he said that, I forgot, like Donald Trump's hair looked like a fire and somebody put it out with piss or something like that. But he said that, like, Trump will just go in there and just spout off for like 2 hours. Those little segments that they do in the boardroom or whatever, that they take hours to film because this guy's just pontificating.
But here's the that's so funny. But here's the thing, man. People cuss. It's 2016. We said this in our very first episode. We stop fucking pretending that people don't cuss. You know who's against it? It's these super religious zealot people. It's okay to go into professional work-related meetings or professional environment, and I'm not going to go apply for a loan and say, hey, I'm here to apply for
I want that motherfucking job.
Yo, man, I want 10 fucking grand, dude. Like, no, you're not going to do that. People know when to do it. But when you're having conversations or when you're on watching TV or on TV shows or podcasts, stop pretending that people don't cuss and people understand things maybe a little bit better when you do use profanity.
Can we get to the crux of this and the important thing? Are you telling me that you're offended by the word fuck, which he didn't describe an act? It was an exclamation. He yells fuck because he's angry. Okay. Now, what you should really be offended by is that this whole show, that the 2 murders that were involved, that we're okay watching a show and nobody will complain that little Johnny or little Jane sees this show about 2 acts of murder, or your nightly news where they show these bombings, people getting blown to shit.
What about that recent video that was released, that cop shooting that guy in the news, man? You know what I'm talking about here in Bakersfield?
Yeah.
Okay, so all the people who are promoting this cop that shot that guy are promoting him as a hero, and they're saying this guy was a bum that he shot. We should probably explain this video a little bit before we get ahead of ourselves, huh? It's okay for people to praise a cop who's filmed on the news shooting somebody and killing the guy at an Amtrak station, all right? But God forbid John Travolta say fuck in a TV series.
Yeah, I mean, because they don't actually show... They don't show maybe the dude hit the ground because they bleeped it, but you're showing on the 5 o'clock news what led up to it, and it was a justified shooting. Actually, I'm surprised the cop didn't. He shouldn't have waited that long, to tell you the truth. That dude keeps coming at you with the knife. You need to stop that shit.
And I agree 100%. I think situational awareness, cop did fall, and that's just sloppy. Whether you're a cop or in the military, you should always maintain situational awareness.
That dude gave a lot of ground.
What if that guy, instead of a knife, he had a gun?
Right, and how much ground did he have to get? If somebody walks into the middle of that, whatever. I mean, that guy gave a ton of ground.
When I saw that looked sloppy, and the guy, you should always be aware of your surroundings and not be tripped up like that. But here's the thing. John Travolta says fuck, people get all pissed off. It's a big deal. It's all over Fox News and Fox Friends. Those fucking dorks in the morning on Fox and Friends and all those geeks on Fox who sit there and pretend that no one cusses. Yet they're going to praise a cop for killing a guy.
And then they also have outtakes or Bill O'Reilly getting busted for harassing his aide.
That Rickroll skit.
Well, no, that he actually got in trouble a few years ago for fucking an aide on his side, talking about playing with his balls and shoving shit up his ass.
No way.
Dude, yes.
Bill O'Reilly?
Yeah, he was fucking having an affair or some shit. I mean, like...
With a dude?
No, it was a chick. But, I mean...
Oh, he wanted her to do it.
Yeah, I mean, all this shit. Like, I mean, shit. You got Pat O'Brien. Remember the famous Pat O'Brien tape about him let's get coked up and get crazy when he was fucking with this assistant years ago on Access Hollywood?
Yes.
That's the best tapes ever.
I don't know. We look at all the movies we have, man. Look at the TV shows, the movies, the video games, everything around us, the way we live our lives, and you're gonna get mad because one guy says fuck.
Well, you go to CBS, you go to NBC, you go to all these shows that are running on regular TV, and it's okay that how much gunplay is in that? How many murders are shown? Fucking CSI.
Every show's about murder.
CSI.
How to get away with murder.
And then you've got that goddamn
CSI.
fucking the Discovery ID channel where every show is... So you're supposed to believe me. I mean, I'm supposed to believe that they do this reenactment of a murder. And these guys, they're going to go and they're going to do a drive-by shooting, or they're going to go kill somebody, or something happens, they go rob a bank, and they're going to be like, oh, fiddlesticks, let's kill somebody. Oh, darn it, we're coming under fire. It doesn't work that way. If you're willing to pull the trigger on each other, I'm sure that your language is a little different.
It's all these religious people, man. I mean, can we just be honest with you? It's these crazy Bible thumpers.
It's the PMRC, whatever it is, that Parents Religious Council and that and other. And the thing is I'm going to tell you what, that OJ show, it airs at 10 o'clock at night on a Tuesday.
Yeah,
If your kid is young enough and hasn't been exposed to the word fuck, they sure as shit shouldn't be up at 10 o'clock at night on a school night to hear this and ruin their life. Because I'm going to tell you what, though, and I don't want to blow any little secrets here. If your kid's over 2nd or 3rd grade, they're saying fuck on the playground.
It's not just that. I mean, they're doing a lot more than that.
Right, but I mean, at least they're saying fuck on the playground. So, I mean, you might as well... Now, and this is where you as a parent, you go, look, you little shit, I know you might be doing this, but you're not doing this around the house. You're not doing this around Grandma. You're not going to sit around the table and go, hey, Granny, how about them fucking potatoes? You don't. But just realize, unless you want to be the ostrich, which I do know people who are the ostrich in with their head in the sand, and they don't want to see shit, but just wait.
I get annoyed by it because it's all these religious groups and these super bona fide Christians who have problems with everything, but yet they'll go to these rallies and they'll cheer for Cruz and Rubio, and some of them will cheer for Trump, and all these conservative presidential candidates who are talking about fucking bombing people.
Yeah, let's send drones over.
And laying waste to people. So wait a minute. You're telling me you're going to go to church on Sunday, say your prayers, live your life like you're so fucking squeaky clean perfect, and then go to a rally where a guy in a suit looking all nice and shit is going to tell you that he's going to send drones and he's going to bomb people and he's going to kill people? How in the fuck do you... How does that make any sense, man? But God forbid we say fuck. No pun intended. It's annoying, dude. It's annoying. The offensiveness on people with everything, man, is just out of control.
Well, and I mean, look at, and then you've got the TV shows with, like we said, with the gunplay and the murders, and then you have alcohol abuse. I mean, you have drug use on there. I mean, Honey Boo Boo should be the most offensive thing that's ever aired on television.
That's fucking disgusting.
For one, racially, white people should shit their pants and lose their fucking minds over that. It's hard to jack off while you're watching it, but you can get over it sooner or later.
Dude.
Mama June, she starts dancing a little bit,
A couple years ago, we went to go get some food. I was living in Alaska, and we sit down, and we're the family that watches TV while we eat. Sorry if that offends you.
You're supposed to sit around the table, say your prayers.
But anyways, yeah, we don't sit around the table and ask, well, what did you do today? Or tell me 3 things you learned today. Nah, man, fuck that. No, we get our values elsewhere. But anyways, I digress. We were watching TV while we were eating, and my daughter turns on that Honey Boo Boo thing, and I had never seen it. This is probably like 4 years ago. And I'd never even heard of it, never seen it, and I'm watching this shit, and I was like physically disgusted. I couldn't eat. I was like, dude, what is this? And it's glorifying fat people.
If you put that about a different race, people would shit their pants.
Wasn't there something else going on where like fat people were getting glorified or something? It wasn't the Sports Illustrated thing, man. You were talking about it, and I had it on my. I mean, of course, there's the whole Chris Christie thing. That guy couldn't have got out of the race any earlier. I know Joe Rogan talks about it, and a lot of other people talk about it on their shows. You couldn't have a 300-pound man as president.
Wait, well, we have.
That's disgusting.
We have.
Well, Taft back in the day.
Right. But, I mean, then again, how many people ever saw him? You know, I mean...
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, there wasn't, like, camera. I don't even think there was cameras back then, was it?
Well, I mean, there probably was, but it was probably... You had to sit there with a thing of gunpowder in a tray and... All right. Yeah, you know, like we're
Didn't
taking...
that guy get stuck in a bathtub in the White House?
That's the story.
That's fucking funny. But, I don't know, man. I'm so sick and tired of people getting offended by everything, man. Suck it the fuck up and just live your life, man. If somebody does something that you don't agree with, oh well. Close your front door, they're gone.
Well,
Or
your
leave
biggest
the
power...
webpage.
Your
Block 'em.
biggest power is if a company does something that offends you. There's no reason, or a person, an entertainer offends you. You know what you do? Don't listen. Don't buy what they're selling. I'm tired of people like or if somebody on Facebook pisses you off, they write something that you find insensitive. I'm tired of people being fired. I'm tired of you find something you don't like. And they're going up, and they're going to your employers, they're going to your sponsors, to whatever, to get you fired. What means does that do? That is, for one, to put people out. It's so un-American. It's against free speech. It's against the economy, and it's so chicken. Dude, there's people I can't fucking stand that I damn near wish death on, but I would never. To me, it's not cool at all to fuck with people's employment, because then it's not just this prick that you hate, it's his family, his wife, his kids, all this. I am so against that shit.
Well, you know that's what's going on right now with all the layoffs in the oil fields. I mean, when you're a huge company and you gotta lay people off, right? You're looking at big layoffs because the oil prices and all that. When they look at their numbers and their people, we all know that when whoever's doing these layoffs, I'm sure they do it as professional as they can, but if there's somebody in the yard or on the company who they think is just an ignorant fuck and just nobody likes, he's annoying or she's annoying.
Well, you're going first.
You better you bet your ass you're going first. And
that's why I don't work in that field, because I guarantee you it'd be like, well, hey, asshole, fucking price dropped 3 cents, beat it.
That's just the world we live in, though. If you're going to go to work every day and be an ignorant fuck, a racist, ignorant fuck, or if you're going to be a kind of person that's just judgmental towards everybody,
you better damn well be good at your job.
And then layoffs are coming, you better be shaking in your fucking boots, homie, because you're the first to go. And that's just the way it is. You get back what you put out, right? So
yeah, I mean, it's basically a karma type thing, too, you know?
It is a karma thing. But you look at people getting offended, I think you're putting bad karma out there by telling everybody that you're offended by this, you're offended by that. You look at the Al Sharptons, you look at these idiots in the news, these people with all their TV shows making all the money, who every day makes you wonder if they actually feel like that, dude. Like, do they really feel like that, or are they just trying to do this because they like their jobs and their money? Because I don't know anybody, realistically, I don't know anybody in my life who is just offended by everything, because I don't associate with people like that. But even though I come in contact with a lot of people through different groups and stuff, I still have never met anybody who's offended by everything. I have some people that I was working with before with all these veteran groups who are super religious, and you'd have to watch what you say around them, but I hated that shit, dude. I hated the fact that I would be told, hey Chad, you're Mohawk and you're red hair, you're blue hair, can you wear a hat at this event? It might offend somebody. Like, in other words, me having a Mohawk or me having my hair dyed a certain color was going to prevent this person...
So it was going to discredit your record of service that you were there for?
Right. Discredit my record of service or stop this rich person from donating. So you're telling me this rich guy's going to be like, ooh, man, I was going to donate some money, but who is this guy with the dyed hair?
Well, what people don't understand in that line either, is that kind of shit is what the people that we're fighting are against and want to stop. They want a conservative... the whole Muslim lifestyle, that part of the shit that you guys, that we've sent these people to war to die for, to get maimed for, is so shit like that can continue. So our rights, so we can have individualism. So we're not just a cog in the machine.
You and I don't agree with a lot of things that we see in the world, but I'm not about to tell anybody that they can't worship this God. I think all religion is bullshit. I think organized religion is a way of control. I think there's other ways to find peace, but that's just me. But I'm not about to go walk my ass to St. Philip's or to the nearest Mormon church. You got one on every fucking corner out here in the southwest Bakersfield area. I'm not about to go walk over there and say, hey, you guys are too weird. I'm not offended by it, but I'm not about to tell somebody they can't do it. The only thing that offends me are people who get offended by everything.
Yeah, my whole thing is I don't give a shit what you do. Just don't hurt others. I honestly don't care. Keep it in your backyard, whatever. Just do whatever. Believe in your toilet roll holder is your savior. I don't give a shit. That's fine. If that keeps you to be a nice person, that's something you obtain to, whatever, fine. I don't care. I am not offended. I could honestly say by basically anything.
I totally forgot about the spaghetti monster religion. I was supposed to put in my membership.
Church of Bacon.
The Church of Bacon and spaghetti monster religion. But which those people are just trying to prove a point, and I think that's hysterical. The people that go into the DMV and want to take their picture with the pasta strainer
colander on their head.
But I see what they're trying to do. I don't know, man. I think the same idiots saying that a cop is a hero for shooting a guy at an Amtrak station, yet are offended by the word fuck, are just so hypocritical that they need to pull their heads out their asses, man. I mean, you're going to say that you believe in Jesus, who values life and forgiveness, but you're going to praise a cop for shooting a man in public?
Well, wasn't the point of Jesus, too, though, that he's the one who, he led in the pieces of shit of society.
Right.
That preached to the whores and to the,
the tax collectors and, exactly. Exactly.
You're not alienate these people and knocking them out. And, I mean, dude, I'm telling you, I read, and I've listened to, so many of Pendlet's books, and of course, he's an atheist, as I, and, just on his theories of things, and he's even bigger than I am, too, about, proselytizing, that he doesn't care, he likes it when a religious person comes and preaches to him and everything like that, because he believes that if you really believe that, if you're really into it, then you should want to share it, that you should, if you really believe it, it's like, say, if I know a car is going to hit you, that I would really have to hate your guts to not grab you by the shoulders and pull you away from getting hit by that car.
No, you make a lot of sense with that. And with me, I don't want to say I'm an atheist. I think I'm agnostic.
Actually, what I am is a non-theist, because I think atheists themselves are full of shit a lot of the times, because then they're like, oh, we're going to have an atheist church meeting. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, that threw me for a loop when I saw that. I think that was you a long time ago, Mike.
And it's not devil worship, okay? Now listen, let me get this quick. It's not devil worship, which Satanist is not what you think Satanist is. Satanist is kind of pretty much free, do what you want. I don't believe in God, so that means I also don't believe in his enemy. Because I couldn't believe in his enemy, or that would give credit to the other side.
And I just don't believe that us little humans who live on a planet all alone with no signs of life anywhere outside of our little tiny little Earth and Moon system, that we're going to have to hold the answers to the entire fucking universe, man. I don't believe in that. I think that there's a lot more to it, and that we'll never understand it. So when I see these people who are just so convinced that Jesus Christ is the way. Perfect example, and I keep going back to this cop video. I debated with this guy for 2 hours the other night about this video, because I thought that the cop should have shown some more situational awareness, not tripped on the curb, and shot the guy maybe a little sooner. I'm not against him shooting the guy. The guy was clearly fucking on something. He had a knife. There were people at the bus station. Put that motherfucker down. Yes, I'm in favor of it. But what I'm not in favor of is a guy with Jesus on his profile picture saying that guy should have been dealt with a long time ago and we need to cleanse society of all the scum. Wait a minute, man. You got Jesus on your profile picture.
Well, I want to know how clean your life is, where you think say that there was another flood, right? We got another Ark Noah situation here, right?
Yeah, is that they gonna
are you that judgmental, which you're not supposed to judge, that you would think you would make the cut, that you are that holy, that when we're picking numbers here and there's only going to be a few hundred, a few thousand, whatever, that are going to survive, that you're that much better than everybody else, that you're going to make the cut?
Dude, some of the most judgmental people I know are crazy, strict Christians.
Dude, I grew up in churches and everything, and for one, really judgmental. Yeah, you think that these people they're not buying their church clothes and spending money they don't have to roll out this elegant, church clothing or whatever. And the church, a lot of the churches would be they would they would like, oh, we want anybody to come in who wants to hear the word of God. And then somebody would come in that wasn't dressed up to this, and they'd be like, oh my God, do you see what that person's wearing?
Exactly. Like if I were to go in there.
A T-shirt and, you know.
If I were to go in there. You know, the face.
Because the point, though, is they should be preaching to you to get you to come to learn the error of your ways and all that.
Or you better bet your ass they'll let you stay, but they're going to try and change you.
Well, let's
they're going to be like,
you
remember when Chad walked in, he had face piercings and a mohawk, and he was wearing a Slayer T-shirt.
The church wants to donate a new suit to you, and you know, I mean.
That's what gets me so turned off to the whole religious aspect of things. All I see, first of all, and this is just the one Catholic church that my wife goes to, is old people. When you look at people, you know, younger than 40 years old, there's not a whole lot there, man.
Well, then that's where I get judgmental, and I'm like, you fucked up, didn't you? What'd you do? Why are you getting drugged? Like, you're trying to make up to your wife. I bet you wouldn't. No. When I see people in that church, I'll be sitting there like, all right, dude. What are you kissing ass for? How many whores did you bang at the bar?
Exactly.
You know.
So I don't believe in organized religion. I don't believe when they come around and fucking ask 3 times.
Well, you can be spiritual without going to the building. Yeah, if that's what you want to do.
Exactly, and that's, you know, when I walk outside, I think there's a lot more. But you know, I don't get offended when I see all these people I know posting all this stuff about Jesus. I don't get offended. Fuck no. I'm like, okay, that's your thing. I think it's kind of dumb, but that's your thing. You know how many people a day I see who are posting things about Jesus or God, whether it be family or friends, dude? I don't get offended. I'm like, okay, that's your thing. But as soon I
do get offended when they're contradictory.
Within fucking 2 or 3 minutes, dude, of me posting something about agnostic or about anti-religious, I will get messages and comments out the fucking ass, man. I'll get text messages.
We're praying for you. I know. Well, you know,
I don't want you to pray for me.
I don't care. No, you know what? I do. I don't care. That's fine. Because, and when somebody says God bless you to me, you're wishing me well. That is the best thing that you can do in your mind for me. Like when people say, and they'll ask all the time, send thoughts or prayers for so-and-so, my dad's having surgery or whatever, and like generally, like, I don't pray, but hey man, well wish is good, you know, we're thinking of you, blah blah blah. And because I don't do that, not saying that you mean any less to me or I'm not trying to offend you, but it's just not the way I do things.
Me neither, man. And that's when I get offended, is when I gotta sit here, and I'm on Facebook and social media all day long because it goes into what I'm doing with the podcast, and it's what I'm trying to put out and do. And I have to go through and see everyone posting their fucking like or share to save this child in Jesus' name, or these religious quotes. I mean, they're all day long. And I don't say a fucking word. I'm thinking shit, but I don't say a word. I don't comment. I don't go and copy and paste a thumbs down in there and show that I don't like. But, dude, if I go on there and post something for some kind of agnostic view I believe in, it's over with. You would have thought that I'm fucking ISIS, and the irony with all this is that I'm being treated how ISIS treats. You know what I'm saying? Like ISIS does the same thing to people over there. I think at the core of it, you know, we're supposed to look either right and believe in Jesus and religion, and everything else is offensive, or we're supposed to look left, and it's the other way around. I think it's stupid. Why can't people just be people?
Well, I think up until a couple of years ago, my mom, I think, thought that I was like, because we would get into religion, and my mom, not like she was going to church on Sundays either. She's sitting there watching the same football games I am on Sundays, you know, 1,600 miles away. So she's not doing this, and she's got about as much church in her as me. She did when she was younger. When my dad was alive, they went to church and all that, and well, he died of cancer, and so see how good that worked for him, nonetheless. But she hits church about as much as I do, weddings, funerals, type thing like that. But she still has this belief of something in her. I don't know if it's a fear of shit. I mean, because I'm going to tell you what, if I'm on a plane and that fucker's going down, I might throw a Hail Mary out there and be like, you know what, like, and I don't mean a Hail Mary as in like the guy, I mean as in it's the end of a football game and you're like, fuck it, we got nothing to lose, so I'm going to throw a long bomb and hopefully some asshole runs underneath it and catches it. You know, hell, I don't know. It might happen. But nonetheless, but I think up until a couple of years ago, my mom thought I was just rebelling and wasn't serious with my non-religious thoughts, and she'd always be like, "Oh, come on, you know that." And I think finally in the last couple of years, she got that. No, that I'm serious.
I think my family's learned to lay off. and it's not so much the religious thing; it's everything. I mean,
But now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. No, because like my family in Fresno, religious. There's a bunch of preachers in there, everything like that. I don't go to their events and poo-poo them. I will not bring up religion. I will stand for their prayers, everything that they need, that they do, because I was raised and I know what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to. It's not the calisthenics that the Catholic religion is. Oh my God, that's like a Jane Fonda workout, dude. And but I know in my family's religion what you're supposed to do. I will go along with everything because I'm not for one, it's not about me. Usually it is a wedding or a funeral. So I'm not going to sit here and make this offensive, make it all about me shit. No, you go along with it. But I also am not going to bring up the questions. And even when somebody says, God bless you, I'll just nod my head, you too. I see these family members once, maybe twice a year, if that. There's no reason to let them into the shit. But this is also why anybody who is a friend of mine on Facebook, other than a couple of people, sent me invites. Because I don't do it as much anymore, but I have had a tendency to get on drunken rants on Facebook, or even, like, I've told my wife and I've told people before, and I'll even send a message, time to go fishing. And what I'll do is I'm trolling and I'll try to send up offensive shit just to get somebody. Get somebody. And when I get somebody, you'll see one and I'll say, fish. Or I'll just type fish, or I've got somebody on the line. And everybody knows when I've got that person, as their comments keep going, that I've got somebody.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the long rebuttals that you get from people. I love that. I love it. Dude, I don't know. Look, and it's not just, I think we're hammering on the religious people, but it's I just see it from my perspective that that's where it's coming from the most, man, is that, yeah, you got the people like they all Sharptons and the Black Lives Matter who are just, you got to watch everything you say because the slightest thing you say about black people is going to make you racist.
Can we do, the important thing is when you say I'm offended, that closes the door. You're offended, that's it. It stops, is what you're trying to get done. There's no reason there's no more that we can discuss and find out why you feel this way. It shuts down all discussion.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you feel this way? Why are you offended? Why do I feel this way? Like I've always said before, that my wife's Mexican, I'm white, my kids are half. If you are prejudiced against our interracial relationship and I work with you, that's fine. Just shit, you can let me know. I would rather let you know instead of me trying to offer you, like, hey, would you like to come over for Thanksgiving dinner? Would you like to do this? And you say no for no reason. And I would not be offended if somebody said to me, no, I don't believe in your marriage choices and your lifestyle choices. That would just let me know. As long as we can be professional in the workplace, that's as far as we have to go and all that. And that's fine.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm identical to that. Everything you just said.
I would rather know it than live in this world of bullshit that we have to live in where everybody has to get together. And this wraps back up to the Sports Illustrated one where everybody gets to play, everybody gets to win, and all that shit.
Everyone gets a participation medal. And I think that's what you get. When you give people, everyone, a participation medal and you don't reward winners and you don't acknowledge that some people aren't cut out for certain things, that's what you get. You get the society we live in today where nobody's ever going to win. We're never going to come out on top. This country's never going to come out above and beyond this because you can't do one thing without offending another person.
Well, this goes back to an example that we always have too, is lowering standards. Lowering the standards of the fire department because they need a certain amount of women in the fire department. Okay, so they lower the weight that they have to be able to carry or whatever. So they don't have to be able to pick up 180 pounds, let's say. Well, if somebody's stuck in a building and that person needs to go up there and drag some person that's 200 pounds and they go, well, no, our weight limit's only 120. We only have to be able to drag 120. You're not good.
Yeah, someone's dying that day.
And you're not as good as somebody else that could, and you're keeping a job because of title. And this goes back to that cop who waited so long to shoot. You don't think when that went down that he's got going through his head about all the negative press that the BPD's got about being the number one per capita murders in this thing, and that could have gotten that guy killed. Because I'm going to tell you what, when that guy went to work in the morning, he probably kissed his wife on the head, rubbed his kid's head and said, all right, I'll see you guys tonight. When that guy went to work in this morning, his thought was, I'm coming home tonight. This other asshole that he shot, his idea when he got up in that morning says, I'm going to go cause some shit today.
And I'm going to go get my next hit, and I'm going to fucking pay $20 for a bus ticket, and then I'm
going to start some shit.
Yeah, I'm going to start some shit. No, you couldn't be any more right on that. When I watched it, and I said, why is he hesitating? Because when you watch the video, they go in like this huge, they cover a lot of ground, dude.
That dude backed up. He backed up at least the distance of the bus.
And I'm like, why is that cop? Yeah, exactly.
And that dude that cop, it looks like he had drawn his attention that dude was going after somebody else, because he comes around that corner, and then it's like the suspect turns his attention towards that cop who came around that bus. Like something was already going down. So he was already chasing. So he's already, and I think they said he attacked a bus driver or something before. So he had already been a problem.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm watching this video thinking to myself, why is this guy hesitating? And I figured it out. It was because of all the cops that are getting bad shit for shooting people. It's because of the Black Lives Matter. This guy wasn't even black, but it's
just ammunition.
It's everything that is fueling the fire against police officers. And that's probably why he was like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What's the best way to handle this? And then, you know what? Anybody who's been in a firefight or law enforcement who's been in that situation knows your adrenaline's pumping, dude. That clogs your thoughts. And if you're not used to those kind of situations, you're not going to react as quick. So I understand what the cop is going through, and that probably caused him to trip on that curb and everything. But
wouldn't you say, though, that what he did is instead of those thoughts being clogged and going on intuition and his training, he was repressing that.
Because he was worried about all the people who are offended about everything cops are doing. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
He was repressing. All his instincts were telling him probably to do what he should do, but he was repressing those
because he's feeling
because he's like, shit, now I'm gonna have to go on a fucking mandatory vacation. I'm gonna have to fill out a bunch of paperwork, and I have to go in front of a shooting review board.
I'm gonna be on CNN.
And
exactly.
And then you don't tell me that dude looked like he was probably Hispanic. The dude that he shot.
The guy that he shot.
Dark. I mean, yeah, I just saw dark and long hair. But then, like, there's another thing. Then you're gonna have to process in your head. You're gonna have to sit there like the fucking Terminator, where you're going through these numbers in your head, and you go, oh shit. So then that means that suspects of color are gonna get different treatment. You can't say in one way that more black people get killed by the police than other people. And we're being singled out, but you can't be singled out on the other way either. Shouldn't it be taught by a case-by-case basis, no matter skin color, whatever?
It should.
Right, but you're going to make it go the other way, where this guy goes, oh shit, if I shoot this black suspect who's doing the same thing that I would shoot another suspect for, then this starts the whole Black Lives Matter and a whole bunch of other shit. It should be case-by-case.
It should be, but it's not, because everybody is offended about everything. I'm sitting here squeezing this fucking stress ball because it frustrates me, man. You gotta get past that. Everyone's gotta get over it. There's things I'm gonna do that you're not gonna like. There's things Randy's gonna do that you're not gonna like. There's things you're gonna do that we're gonna fucking hate. Oh well, this is America. Selfies. Alright, so check it out. April 2nd, Bakersfield Rocks the Fox. It's coming up quick, so we've been talking about it, but every episode we're gonna get into it. April 2nd here at the Fox Theater in Bakersfield. You got a few bands playing. It's gonna be great. Edema's headlining it. Aviators opening the show. Kings of Carnage, are all-military metal band. A guy named Art Machuca plays some really good music, good musician. And then Il Tiempo's playing, a local band as well. Tickets are on sale at the box office at the Fox, and you can buy them on e-tickets. And we'll attach all the links to our page and everything. And look them up on Bakersfield Rocks the Fox on Facebook. And I believe there's a website called Bako Rocks the Fox. Just Google it. It'll come up.
And I believe tickets are $25 out the door. That's with your convenience charge and everything.
$25 out the door, and Randy and I will be there interviewing the bands. We'll be there walking around mingling, and you'll be able to see us and meet us and hang out and meet these bands. A
few of the bands, though, they're pretty accessible, too. So they're probably going to be out there mingling around, shooting the shit, working merch tables, anything like that. The guys are really cool.
The whole point of this show is to bring the music scene back to Bakersfield for what it used to be, and the guys that are organizing it, they got a pretty cool goal, and I really appreciate them putting me and Randy on this because it's a cool thing to get into. So it's going to be a good time. April 2nd, about a month away. Go ahead and get your tickets for that. And we've already had Kings of Carnage on the show. Our next episode plan on being, having the Aviators here, get to hear those guys' stories, and we'll be having a few of the other bands for short little interview segments before the show as well. If you go through life being offended by everything, you're going to be just
You're shutting doors.
You're shutting doors, and you're going to be an unhappy person. Take that from me. All right, so are we good?
CHADMANandRANDYShow.com.
Check us out on our new website. We're there. And go buy that new Sports Illustrated magazine.
We might even post some pictures of what we were talking about online.
Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll include some slideshows when we upload this.
Well, we'll have to talk to the technical department.
Yeah, because I don't know how to do it. So that's all Jen. Keep the magazine business alive. Go buy the Sports Illustrated. All right? Chapman and Randy, out.
Geico presents sharing versus oversharing. Today, Bridget Griffin shared a video of her daily yoga routine, 2 self-help articles, and her new blog called Build Your Inner Bridge with Bridge. Girl, your sharing has turned into oversharing. No worries, Bridge. Geico has some info worth sharing with your 7 blog followers, like how you could save money on your car insurance, update your policy, and report a claim just by visiting geico.com. How's that for building your inner bridge? Bridge, Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.